Welcome to the Sooners 360 Daily Recruiting Update from the podcast all about OU football recruiting. This episode is sponsored by Sooners 360 on Patreon. To support Sooners 360, go to patreon.com, use the search feature, type in Sooners 360, follow the search results, and click subscribe. It's only $2 a month. There's a free trial option, and the Patreon site helps support this podcast, helps keep this podcast free. Also, please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you've not already done so. Subscriber numbers greatly help my channel with the YouTube algorithm stuff. That helps me get my content in front of new viewers. If you are listening to the audio version, thanks for your audio patronage. And please consider subscribing on your favorite podcast platform. That way, all the episodes are pushed to you and you don't miss any content. Still fighting the tail end of this cold and sore throat. So if I sound a little froggy, a little throaty, that will be why. So this is August 26th. Key linebacker update and new linebacker offer. So linebacker recruiting for 2027 has gone really pretty well with Cooper Witten and Taven Epps. I've mentioned in previous podcasts, I kind of feel like OU should add a third linebacker this fall. No real news on that. And I don't really expect any news on that until they can actually see some senior film. And they also have to have some home games where they can really schedule players to come visit. Next Friday's game against UTEP doesn't really fit that category very well. So, but moving to 2028, a linebacker we have talked about on a number of occasions. Yeah, that image is all right. Is Jay Schell from Rabun Gap, Georgia. 6'3", 215. Has had an OU offer since he camped at OU last summer and received an OU offer. He was back in Norman for spring football, watched OU work out this spring, and has been consistently mentioning OU in every interview with national and regional guys, Oklahoma guys, over the last, probably the last 3-4 months easily, maybe going back further than that. So the last 2 weeks, we've had a kind of he's done some more recent interviews, and he seemed to be really saying that he had a top 3 of Georgia, Clemson, and Oklahoma, and he has connections to all 3 programs. At Oklahoma, he has a connection to Brent Venables, a longtime connection to Brent, camped at Clemson when Brent was still the linebacker coach there. So Brent's known him this is probably going on 5 years at this point. He has a lot of family connections to Clemson. His parents have connections in that area, connections back to Clemson. Rabun Gap is in northeast Georgia, which is as close to Clemson as it probably is to Athens, if not closer. So, and then UGA, obviously UGA's been doing a great job with linebacker development. Kirby Smart and the defense features linebackers. They've had a lot of linebackers drafted. They've got a good defense. Georgia recruits Gwinnett very, very well, although Rabun Gap may not technically be in Gwinnett, now that I think about it. Maybe just in the county slightly above Gwinnett. So I'll take a look. I'll have an answer for that at some point. But yeah, so the 3 schools were clearly OU, Clemson, and Georgia seem to have separated from the group. And Chad Simmons, the national writer for Rivals, who tends to have sort of a southeast focus a little bit, recently did an interview with Jay Schell. Coming out of that interview, Chad Simmons made a prediction to OU. So we now have another player predicted to the Sooners. This time, Jay Schell from Georgia. And the timing of that seems, doesn't seem coincidental. And then today, we had Hayes Forsett put out a graphic on Twitter. That's his primary role for Rivals. He's their graphic guy. Players go to him for the graphics they'll use when they announce their commitment. And through that process, he gets final sixes and final threes, top sixes, top five lists before anybody else, because they basically tell him, yeah, I'd like a graphic with this many schools in it. So Hayes is saying that it is down to now OU and Clemson. UGA has been eliminated. Now, we don't have a deadline or a commitment time frame, but I think it is very interesting that he will be on campus for the New Mexico game, which, if my dates are correct, should be 9/19. So I'm not sure if there's a Clemson visit before that, but if there is not, and he is able to make it onto campus on 9/19 for the New Mexico game, I don't know if I put him on commitment watch, but he certainly would seem to be a possibility that OU might be closing in on their first linebacker and first defensive recruit of 2028. OU still currently only having Trey Taliaferri, the quarterback from New Jersey, is the only commit in the class. So just a reminder of, let's just put that there, the ratings, the ranking situation for Jay Schell. He is number 135 in the nation for Rivals, number 9 linebacker, number 18 player in Georgia. Those numbers all sort of sync up. ESPN has him as a top 100 player. They think he is a top linebacker. That's an interesting jump there. They have him as the number 13 player in Georgia. And then 247 is the outlier here. They have him as a they have him as a low 4-star, probably just right outside their top 300. They have him as the number 15 linebacker in the country, number 28 player in Georgia. So put that all together, somewhere in the top 200. And he's highly talented, and a threesome of Clemson, Georgia, and Oklahoma, certainly adds to that. We've looked at his video before, his sophomore video previously, and I've done that also on Recruit Intel. So I want to go ahead and pull up his first game from his junior year, just so we can take a look at it. It's not going to be highlights, so when I'm showing you the plays, don't it's not all highlights. So he's playing Mike linebacker here, tackles the running back. The team they play, heavy run game. Going to be a lot of run game highlights here. He's playing Mike. Actually, they threw a pass here. He does a nice job closing on the wide receiver after the wide receiver makes a 10-yard gain. Nice play here. This is probably the best highlight that we're going to see. So let me just roll out that. All right, so he's playing Mike linebacker right here. They're running. They're kind of doing from the shotgun. They're doing kind of it's a little bit of a running back draw, a little bit. It's well blocked. They're doing a good job blocking the Raven gap D line, which does have at least one Division I player on it who's going to Notre Dame. But Schell does a good job. He's not blocked. He's doing a good job of accelerating up in the hole and tackling the running back for really no gain. Just powers him to the ground. Again, another draw inside. He gets caught a little bit. He pursues from the backside, makes a nice tackle from behind. Again, it's another run play. He does a nice job tackling the running back for like a 2-yard gain. Again, he's at Mike. They're running it to the right side. He does a nice job flowing, avoiding the block, and making a tackle. It's a goal line play. He does a nice job filling the hole and tackling the running back. They're sort of running away from him. It's a nice running play for about 7 yards. He does make the tackle. He probably has about 10 tackles in this game. Another running play. The other guys, he follows the pursuit and finishes up the tackle. Probably an assist there. Nice inside run. He makes a nice tackle after about a 5-yard play. They're kind of running a reverse. He does a good job pursuing the play. They get a first down, but he just pursues the play, pursues the guy out of bounds. Another running play in the red zone. He stops it at the 2-yard line. It's kind of a mash play. Like I said, these aren't all highlights. These are just plays he's identified in. Running play, he makes a nice tackle. Their young little running back is making some nice moves and exploding. So that's just an example of what we'll see from Jay Schell. And, we'll piece together more highlights and more games as his recruiting story continues this fall. So that's an update on someone who we've talked a lot about. Now we're going to talk about somebody who we've never talked about before. OU just made a linebacker offer for 2029. They don't have that many linebacker offers out for 2029. Raiden Johnson, who we've talked about on Monday night. Excuse me. Who we've talked about on Monday night. He's one of the linebackers who got an offer at OU summer camp. But this player is from Utah, and he's received the most recent OU offer. Let's clean that up. He's got a fascinating name, Kingston Stroshine, from American Fork, Utah. Can't talk. Stupid cold. American Fork, Utah. He's listed on Rivals at 6'1", 205. On his Twitter profile, it was like 6'1", 215. So that number is probably fairly accurate. And he, like I said, OU just offered him today. Surprisingly, he has some rankings. I thought we weren't going to have any ranking information on him, but he's in Rivals' initial top 100 for 2029. He's actually the number 36 player in the country, which puts him, if he was to maintain that ranking for the next 2.5 years, that would put him in 5-star territory. They have him as the number 2 linebacker and the number 1 player in Utah. ESPN hasn't done any 29 rankings. 247 has. They have him as a sort of an unranked 3-star. So brand new name for me. So this film is going to be pretty new to me as well. So let's go to the film and see why OU offered Kingston Stroshine. All right, he's in coverage here on this play, makes a really nice interception in coverage. He's got a long frame. He's attacking, blitzing from the left-hand side, pursues the quarterback and tackles him from behind. It's a nice play. He's flexed out as sort of the overhang defender here on this wide receiver screen and goes sideline to sideline for a nice 4 or 5 yard tackle loss. He's outside here blitzing, and after the quarterback, fakes the running back, he sacks him in the backfield on a running play. Sort of an outside linebacker here. Again, pursues quickly into the backfield, gets a nice tackle for loss. Really fast, blitzing off the outside, another tackle for loss. Did a goal line play. He's sort of an overhang defender here. Does a nice job. They pass there was sort of a wide pass to the running back, and he just flows through the block and sacks him, tackles the guy for like a 5 yard loss on a play inside the 5 yard line, a goal line play. So nice play. He's physical. He's extremely fast and explosive. So another wide receiver screen. He's out in space, tackles the guy. He's doing a good job tackling in space. Nice job on that running play. Another pass and the wide pass to a receiver. He closes on the guy, tackles him in space, stopping rack yardage. Another nice tackle. Again, he's almost in a cheetah role where they tried to run up the middle, and he does a nice job reacting. They get to the 1 yard line, but he does stop a touchdown. And these are his freshman highlights. This isn't sophomore film. This is the freshman film he has out there. Nice pursuit, nice physical tackle on a running back. Again, good sideline to sideline speed. He could even probably play cheetah for OU, I think. He's very comfortable out in space. Blitzing from the right-hand side, he sacks the quarterback. Inside on a goal line play, he flies through the middle of the line and makes a tackle for no gain. So really, he's, for a freshman, it's easy to see why he's offered here. He's explosive. He's got a good frame. He's tackles in space, has good play recognition. Probably could be 6'1", I don't know, 225, 230 by the time he gets to college. Just so far out, it's hard to project. But his speed is obvious. If you told me he was sub 4.6 or somewhere in that range, I totally buy that. And he's making plays all over the field. So an early Utah offer. OU's not leaving the state of Utah. This is another clear sign of that. They got 2028 targets. The 2027 group should be visiting this fall. We'll see if they bring some of their 2028 friends or even 2029 for unofficial visits. But this is an interesting film. Really like the embryonic linebacker we're seeing in this freshman film. So that's your linebacker update for today. Thanks, everyone. I'll be back with another update tomorrow. And also we'll be doing Sooner Intel with Chris Griffin on Thursday night. So I hope you guys can join us. Other than that, thanks for listening and watching as always.